gotta look at yourself in the mirror and be like, get your stuff together. Get it together. Like, get it together, okay?
Perfect.
So this is where we usually sit on that rock over there. But the water levels have been high, honestly, since winter started, all this rain. I was just gonna go regardless. The water's probably super cold. He's gonna be right back over here. But anyway, take as well. But yeah, so I just wanted to come to you guys with like a life to update video, because as y'all can see, I haven't honestly, I haven't been posting that much. Or if you saw my Appalachian Mountains video, like that's what I was doing this summer. I didn't post during that whole, it's been months. Basically, it's been months. So I wanted to do a life update post-grad. The last actual vlog that I did was graduation, which was in May. So we just gonna talk about what's been up, you know? I guess I'll start with like post-grad feelings. It's very interesting when you graduate, because like school has literally been a part of your life for like 18 years. Like you started in kindergarten, and once you graduate college, like you're done. Obviously, you know, you can go back and all that stuff, but like once you graduate, like you're done with a chapter of your life that was long. A long chapter of your life is over. And so you kind of like, people just say like you're thrown into the real world. Like that's real, and you can prepare for it. Like if you get a job, you know, a good solid job before you graduate, like secure that, do that, secure that. I mean, it's not possible for everybody. Some people, like, you just don't find one within the amount of time, and like that's real too. But yeah, it's like you gotta find a job. I had to figure out insurance. If you're like an adult watching this and you have kids, or if you are, I don't know, anybody, teach somebody about insurance, okay? Like, I don't know why it's not a class mandatory in high school, to be honest. But high school or college, whichever one. But like, teach somebody about insurance, even the basics, like what a deductible is, and you know, like the different plans and stuff like that, just like real basics. So that way when they do have to get insurance, like they know what the stuff, even they recognize some of the words, you know? Anyway, so yeah, I had to like figure out my own insurance and stuff. You know, figuring out jobs, because I didn't get the one that I wanted, which may happen. If you do end up getting a job that you want, that's like could be a career, kudos to you, and you better live your best. But for the rest of us, like, you might not get the job that you want, and so you got to figure out what you're gonna do, because bills have to be paid. And like, in retrospect, some people are like, oh, you could have just went home and lived. Me personally, I would have hated it. It would have been a dub. It would have been a straight dub. But that's me personally. Like, some of my friends did go home and live, and like they're fine, you know, and like it was a good choice for them. So you really got to analyze like what'll be good for you. For me, I couldn't go home. So, you know, I decided to stay, but staying means, you know, you got to pay bills and all that stuff. So I needed a job. So yeah, post-grad will humble you. You will be humbled. You might have been the hottest guy or girl on campus, president of all the orgs, you know, like doing what it do. But once you don't get that first, second, or third job that you applied for, and like, so this happened to me. I'm gonna just tell you what happened to me. So I applied for I had like 3 job interviews, like within like back to back, right? I went to them all, you know, prepared and everything like that. And then, so I didn't end up getting any of the jobs. And so of course I always ask afterwards, like, hey, thank you for the interview. This is a tip. Always say thank you after the interview, like send them an email or a letter. It just makes you look good. But anyway, So I asked them afterwards, like, thanks to you for interviewing me. I had a really great time, or whatever. And asked them, like, was there anything that I could have done better? Do you have any pointers for me? And all three of them were like, no, you did great. If you need, like, a recommendation for anything, you know, just let us know. You did wonderful. I don't have any tips. I'm like, okay, well, y'all better have something because I didn't get the job. Like, you know, I was annoyed. But anyway, I was annoyed. But stuff like that, it's like you just might not get it. Like, it's not necessarily a reflection of you or your character or anything. It just, that wasn't it. And if you're a spiritual person, like, God has better plans for you, or something else will work out, okay? And it might take time, and at the time you're gonna be like, this sucks. But you just gotta keep rolling with it, bro. You just gotta keep rolling with the punches. And, like, if you ain't get that one, okay, well, you better apply for another one. Like, because that's how life is. Like, you cannot sit and sulk, because you're either gonna, one, miss out on whatever is coming your, or could have came your way, but now, like, you were in a space where you couldn't receive it. Or two, it's like people will leave you behind. Like, people in general, like your friends, your family, you know, stuff like that. It's like people, like, life keeps going. Life keeps going. And, like, by all means, take the time to get yourself back right. Like, don't take my words for saying, like, don't deal with what's going on. And we'll get into that later. Take the time that you need, but do not sit in that time, okay? Like, if you need a week, a day, an hour to really just sit there, cry, or think about what you need to do, or whatever, do that. Because if you try to work through it, or just, like, ignore it, it's gonna get worse. So, work through it, but once that time is up, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going, boo. You better apply for another one, or you better figure out, like, okay, well, that didn't work out, so what am I gonna do now? You need to come up with a game plan, because life will pass. Right, Zazu? But yeah, life will pass, okay? So that's another thing that I knew, but, like, it's like all things that you know and you've heard, but it really, like, gets put into effect, you know? Once you have to, like, deal with it on your own. But what else? So yes, I didn't get those jobs. So I ended up having to apply for stuff that, like I said, it'll humble you, because they're jobs that, like, you know you can get because you have a job, like, you have a degree and stuff like that, but it's, like, nowhere near what you wanted or anything, like, pay wise or, like, skill wise, or, you know, whatever. Like, you know that you are better than that job personally. Like, you know that you're smart enough for it. You know that, like, you should be getting paid more or whatever. But, like, at the end of the day, sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do to get where you want to be. You know? I'm not saying to do nothing crazy. Like, don't compromise your morals, okay? Don't compromise, like, who you are as a person. But sometimes you have to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, or that you know you could do better than, to get where you want to go. So anyway, so applying for jobs, I ended up getting another job, but I wasn't making enough money. I was like, like, I always tell myself, you have to. I have one earring on, y'all. That's wild. No, I'm just kidding this now. I literally woke up and came out here. But, what was I saying? Hold on. Okay, we're back. So, yeah. So you have to, so I ended up getting a job, but I always tell myself, like, you have to work for the lifestyle that you want to live. If I want to live a certain way and always get my nails done, and I have another video called, like, budgeting in college that y'all should watch. But it's like, if I want to get my nails done, if I want to get my hair done, if I want to have certain clothes and stuff like that, like, I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. Like, I can't just ask somebody, right? And so I got a job. It wasn't paying enough for me to live the way that I wanted to live. So I was like, okay, well, I need to figure out a way to get the money that I want. You know, I got a dog now. He needs stuff. And then, like, actual just regular bills. Like I said, I got my own insurance now, so I have to pay for that. So just, like, regular stuff. So I needed more money. And I've literally had people say they can't get a job nowadays. And that may be true if you have a situation where, like, if you either have a disability or some people have things on their record that just make it hard to get a job. Like, that's real stuff, okay? But for people who are fully capable of getting a job, it's just that they can't find the job that they want. I've had 3 jobs in the past, like 3 different completely, like, applied for it and got it jobs within the last month. Literally between October and November, I had 3 different jobs. You can find a job. Trust, okay? Trust. You just gotta, like I said, sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do to get where you want to be. And you just gotta understand that that's life, okay? That is life. And I feel like any successful person will tell you about the things that they had to do, like if they wanted to be the CEO of a company, or they ended up being the CEO of a company. They have probably worked a job where it was like they delivered mail, or they delivered pizzas, or, you know, like it was something that like didn't mean anything to them at the time, but they had to do it to get to where they want to be. That's just a fact of life. And you can't go through life thinking that like, oh, well, I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to do it. Okay. Go ahead. Hey, you might make it, and you might beat all the odds, but for the rest of us out here, you got to work towards what you want. That's all I'm saying. You got to work towards what you want. And like, there are entrepreneurs and people like that who said like, I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to, and then they worked to get to where they want to be, you know? Like, if you're saying like, I want to be a fashion designer, well, you need to get your fabrics together, you need to start making connects, you need to get some designs, you know, some pieces to show people, like, you know, like, I'm not saying that any dream, because I'm a firm believer in the fact that like, you can make money doing anything. Like, there are people who they pay to like make lists for them. Like, people get paid for organizing other people's houses, you know, like, people, you can make a job and get paid for anything that you want to do. You just have to be able to like have enough guts and be bold enough and be hardworking enough to get it done and convince somebody to pay you for it. That's it. That's all. Like, the world ain't that complicated if you could figure it out. So that's my spiel on that, on jobs. This man done ran off. But I guess next I want to talk about like emotional stuff. It was really hard after I got done with like my internship thing in the Appalachian Mountains or whatever, when I came back to Athens, and I didn't have a job like all of August. Yeah, I didn't have a job all of August, so like I had to, like, my parents paid my rent for like for September and October, because I didn't work during August, so like I didn't have money to pay my rent on September. And then September I got a job, but I wouldn't have like my checks up together to pay for October. So they paid for September, October. That's another thing. If you can't make it and you have to ask for somebody, people hate asking for things, but that's why you have people in your life. You have people in your life to help you. That's why they're there. I get so annoyed when people like don't want to ask for help, because I had to learn that lesson, but I learned that lesson in like high school. I had to learn that lesson because it was like I would want to do something and I would get frustrated if I couldn't do it. Like, I would get really frustrated if I couldn't do something, but the person next to you probably knows how to do it, like, and they could just tell you, and then you can do it, and you'll be good for the rest of your life, you know? Like, don't be afraid to ask somebody for help. But anyway, back to the spiel. So I didn't have a job for the month of August. So I was literally it was like literally me and my dog at my house staring at each other. Like, that was it, because I didn't have money to go out, you know, like, and do things or whatever. And then I had this new dog, and, you know, he didn't know me and I didn't know him, so like, we were getting to know each other kind of, and it was just really rough, because like, he would stress me out. I don't even know where he is right now, but like, Zazu would stress me out. He would stress me out. And so I was like learning how to deal with like the stuff that he had, and he's a rescue dog, so he had his own problems that we was just both, we had to level with each other, bro. We had to level with each other. I see him. we had to level with each other. And so dealing with him on my own, and then the fact that like I kept applying for these jobs that the jobs that I wanted, and like I just wasn't getting them, and nobody could tell me. Like everybody was like, "Oh, you're perfect," and then I still didn't have a job. So like I wasn't getting any constructive criticism to make myself better, and it was annoying. But anyway, and then also it's like all my friends moved away, like moved back home or whatever, so they were all gone. The friends that were still in school, like they had some, it was basically like I was just really bored, and I'm always used to being busy. I was really bored. I was really bored. I didn't have anybody to talk to for real, except my dog, and he was stressing me out. And you know, like even my boyfriend was kind of distant at that time, so I couldn't talk to him for real. Like family was living their own life. You know, it's like stuff like that where it's like, it's nobody's fault, but like me inside my head, it's like I was really alone, and like really, like I felt so lonely. So lonely. Because there's a difference between feeling alone and feeling lonely. Like alone, I feel like alone is like you're physically, like no one's physically there for you. But lonely is like there could be a million people around you and you can still feel lonely, you know? Like it's just you. So I was like feeling really lonely. I'm like, I'm not gonna say depressed, but like super sad and stuff like that. Because I've been depressed before, and like I knew it would get better at this time. I knew it would get better. I just had to like force myself, like, okay, today we're gonna do this, you know, and like today I'm gonna work towards this or whatever. I'm like, set goals, get yourself through the day, because it's a long day. It's a long 24 hours when you don't have anything to do, and like, you know, stuff like that. So you gotta find something to do and stuff, but also find something productive to do so you can get out of the situation easier, quicker. Like, you know, if you're trying to find something to do for 24 hours, you could just watch TV all day, you could like edit videos, you could do all this other stuff, but like if nothing that you did that day helped you progress, then like what did you really do, you know? Can I help? If nothing really helped you progress. What is he doing, y'all? You know, found himself a stick or a small tree. Zazu. I'm weak. But if nothing helps you progress, then like, that's my thing. Any step, I keep saying like all these little tidbits of like information, but I'm really making this video to let y'all know like how post-grad really is, and like I'll get to the happier stuff later, but like, you know, like it's life. It just is life, and like you learn how to get through it, and you really like find who you are, how you deal with things on your own, and you have to like learn how to be comfortable with that. So on my little tidbits, yeah, it's really just stuff that I've learned. I'm gonna share it with y'all. If it helps, I hope it does, and if it doesn't, then like keep on watching. You know, like it, you know, I'm just sharing my experience. But yeah, feeling really lonely. Like some of the people that I thought like I said, like my boyfriend was kind of distant at the time, and so it's like the people that in my head I expected to be there just couldn't be or weren't, you know. And so it's really just time of growth. Like God is always there for you. Your family, your real friends are always there for you. And if nobody's there, you know, if you ain't got nobody, then you got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, get your stuff together. Get it together. Like, get it together. Okay? So yeah, that's the only reason I made the video. And y'all, like, I'm definitely one of those people, if you're going through something and you just need an outside view on it, if you don't even want my opinion and you just need somebody to tell, oh my gosh, if you just need somebody to tell, email me. Or like hit me up on Instagram. Or DM me on Twitter. Like, I'm always open to listen. I'm always open to listen to anybody and everybody. My friends will tell you that. And even I personally have to work on telling people, because like a lot of times you feel like you're the only one. I promise you, there are 7 billion or how many ever billion people in this world. You are not the only one that's going through something. Like, it's impossible for you to be the only one that's going through it, you know? So like, don't ever feel like that. So yeah, I'm always open. If y'all have any tips for anybody that's like also going through post-grad stuff, it can be high school, it can be college, whatever, or just like life tips in general, definitely put them in the comments below. Like, I want y'all to talk to each other and like really be there for each other. Like I said, there's so many people that like go through stuff and feel like they can't tell anybody, like their friends or family, and so they just don't tell anyone. That is I feel like it's very damaging. It helps you deal with it, but not really, okay? So I want y'all to talk to each other, and I'll probably keep doing these life updates on the river because it's really pretty, and I come out here all the time anyway because Zazu has a lot of fun. I'll probably come like maybe once a month, and it's about to be a new year, so I'll probably do these once a month just to keep y'all updated. But yeah, all right, well, I will check you guys out. I already told you, Instagram, Twitter, comments below. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. If you are, you're a real one, hey. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. If you even made it this far, you are literally the best person ever, and I just want to give you a humongous hug for even listening. But like I said before, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and like and comment below any pro tips, and I will see you guys in the next update.